My name is Manuela Ravanelli, and this is the test for analytical 4. This is Roger McGuire. He's gonna be my student today. So let's start on a comfortable seated position. So what we're gonna work today, we're gonna work on shoulder stand, and so we're gonna just develop a little bit of strength in our shoulders and some balancing poses, okay? This is our friend Toby back there. All right, so let's start in a comfortable seated position. Just, if you can, sit on the front seat bone instead of the back seat bone. If you want, you can also leave your legs straight ahead from you if that's better for you. I will keep my legs bended like that because it's more comfortable for me. Put the palms of your hands facing the ceiling, and I just want you to take a second to get into your body and to try to find your breath. So if you feel comfortable enough, you can close your eyes and start to unwind in this position. The day is over, the weekend is starting. Let's start to have a big breath in and a big breath out. I want you to be a little mindful to your breath and to try to breathe in for the same amount of your breathing out. Let's start to count until, let's say, 3 for the breath in, and the same amount of number 3 for the breath out. So I want you in your mind to think about a rectangular shape object, and I want your breath to follow the perimeter of the rectangular. So your inhale, you go up in the left side of rectangular, then you keep a little pause and you go through the top side of the rectangular shape object, and then you exhale and you go down the other side of the rectangular, the long side, and then you have the small side to go across. Just do this by yourself for a couple of times. Keep your mind focused on your breathing. And the next inhale, you just put the palm together, and you just move the palms against each other. You rub your palms, get stronger, warm up your palms, get some energy going in your hands. And then once your palms are warm, you put them on your eyes, you cup your eyes. Leave some space for your eyeballs. So just cup your eyes, feel the warmth going from your palm to your eyes, to your body, in a calm, tranquil, serene breathing. And then you leave your hands down your face and you open up your eyes. Thank you, Roger. So we're gonna start with some warming up of the shoulder. So I want you to put your arms like I do, so your elbow up to the level of your shoulder, and then your hands are facing me, and then your hands are facing the ground, and then the palms of your hand is facing the back. Keep your shoulder up high if you can, and then move a little bit your hands like that, like a puppet. And then you move your palm back on the ground and all the way back up. We'll do this another couple of times to warm up the shoulder. So palm facing on the ground, palm facing back, move them a little bit, very good. Keep your shoulder up high so that you feel the intensity right in your shoulder, palms to the ground, palms up. And now you close your arms, very good. And now we're gonna do a little bit of a shoulder mobility. So we're gonna start with the right arm. So we put the right arms right in front of us, thumb facing up, and then we go all the way up until it doesn't go anymore. And then what you do, you're gonna switch your thumb and you just, and then you go back, kind of like swimming. Okay, try to keep it as close to your body as possible. Once you reach the ground, you probably, you start, you need to, this one is something you do when you're standing, but you can do it seated. So you bend it a little bit, and it is, and facing up. Let's do it one more time. All the way up until you can't go anymore, and then you switch the direction of your thumb, and up again. Very good. So now you take the same arm and you move into the left. Very good. And then you extend it all the way to the right. Very good. And then you put it back on your knees. We do the same thing with the other arms. So the left arm, you go arm straight, thumbs facing up, and then you try to get your shoulder movement all the way up, and then you switch the direction of your thumb, and you go all the way back. You feel a big rotation on the shoulder, and then you kind of touch the ground until the thing goes up again. We'll do it one more time. You do it slowly, and then you rotate that thumb, and without moving your back, and I'm sure I am moving my back a little bit, you turn it all around. Perfect. So at this point, you put your arms all the way to the right. Very good. And then you extend it all the way, opening up the chest. Chest, it's always kind of like facing up. We want to open up the chest. We'll do another little bit of a rotation with the shoulder. Shoulder up towards the ears. Shoulder going back and touching each other, going all the way back, and then shoulder going forward, bending a little bit the back, retracting away from the spine, and then all the way up towards the ears. Very nice. And now we do a couple of just simple shoulder movement, just like that. And we can also change the direction of our shoulder. Very good, Roger. Thank you. So from here, we're gonna find a standing position. So you can just get yourself standing. I'm gonna remove this little puppy from here. See if you can just go somewhere else. All right. So we can start from the back of our mat in Tadasana. You remember Tadasana. You have everything engaged. Your feet are really grounded to the ground. Your kneecaps are engaged. Your quads are tight. And your butt cheeks are also tight. Stomach inside. The shoulder depressed. And now with the next breath, we go up. All the way up. We pull our shoulder up. We elongate our spine. Very good. We keep it a good stretch. And with the next exhale, we'll just go and fold down in front of you. From the fold, this is our first forward fold. The idea is to keep a straight spine. More weight on your toes than on your heels. Then we come up a little bit, straight spine. And then we go down on a fold again. And then with our ends, we just move a little bit in front. Very good. And we reach a plank position. Okay. Plank, everything is engaged in this plank. Stay strong. And from a plank, we go down in Chaturanga. You bend your elbows slowly. Chest, sorry. Chest and belly touch at the same time. From a chaturanga, you go up in a cobra or an up facing dog, and then all the way in a downward facing dog. Very good. So you move your hands towards your feet, forward fold, and then you come all the way up into Tadasana. Tadasana, very strong position, and let's go down immediately in a fold. From a fold to an halfway lift, from an halfway lift to a plank pose, walking your hands right in front of you. From a plank pose, you do your chaturanga, elbow bends, I'm sorry, all the way up in cobra or upward facing dog to a downward facing dog. Move your hands back. Again, in chaturanga, and back into Tadasana. You stay, now you go down in a plank pose from Tadasana. So you move your hands up in front of you. And now we just keep stretching a little bit our arms in the plank. We get our strength down. So from a plank, we go down to elbow plank. From this one, we take another big breath in, a big breath out. Don't collapse in your plank. And then you go back up in your plank position. Very good. From the plank position, we're still in plank. We go down again on the side, an arm plank. And from an arm plank, we lower all the way down to the ground, our belly. And this is Sphinx pose. Retract our shoulder. Look up. Rest for a second. Very good. So hands planted down on the ground. You push up with your toes. You go up to a regular plank. And from a regular plank, you push back in downward facing dog. So let's stay a second in downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of breaths here. From downward facing dog, we go forward in a plank. And this time we go on a side plank. So let's put our right hand as a base. We move our feet to the right, one foot on top of the other, and then with the other left arm, you lift up. Don't collapse in your plank. Very good. If you can't do that, I'll suggest you also to put a knee down when you go on the side plank, so that it's not quite as strong on your feet. So let's go back in plank, and we try to do the other side. So the knee down that I mean is this. You can take your left knee and you put it down. Exactly. And you keep the other one extended so that you don't put too much of an effort. Very good. From a side plank, you go back in your regular plank. You another breath in. And then get your knees down on the ground. And you push back in child pose. Or whatever position is comfortable for you. If it's not child pose, because your knees are a little, let's get directly up in Tadasana. We rest in a standing position instead. All right, perfect. Let's just take a couple of, let's now keep this Tadasana too engaged. Just take a little bit of a restful position. We catch our breath a little bit, after all these planks. Very good. Breath in and out. Very good. In Tadasana, we open up our feet now, a little bit like the side of the mat. And we'll bend down. I suggest to take your block with you just in case you need it. You know, and we go down in Malasana, which is a squat. You don't need to bend your knee all the way. You just need to bend your knee. Even like this would be okay. Okay? And from the squat, you try to get your hands down on the ground, keeping your leg as high as you can, because I know that your knees are not cooperating. So you keep those hands on the ground and you try to bend your elbow a little bit back and forth for a couple of times. We're trying to get into a crow pose. Okay? Very good. So there's going to be a moment. We can stand up a little more. So there's going to be a moment where you're going to do this crow pose, you're going to put your knees on the side of your arm. Okay, so you squat down like we did. The ends, the elbow here are going to flex a little bit down, and you're going to try to put your knees or your shin on this side of the arm and try to balance for a few seconds. If you can balance, it's okay. Another thing you can do is you can put a block, stand on the block. In this case, you don't have the knee open, so you stand on the block like that with the feet together, and then you just put a little pressure on your arms. So you can do it in two ways. One with open legs, and the other one with the knees, with the feet on a block. Okay, so let's try this again. So let's go down in Malasana. So one more thing. Your shoulder, when you do that, and your arm, the shoulder, they need to be away from the middle line and up. Okay. So let's try it again. So you do that. You put. I'll try with the block because I like the block better. So open up your knees a little bit. You put your body in front of you, and then that could be enough. Or you let it go. Good. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's pretty good. All right. That's pretty amazing, Roger. Thank you. That's good. So at this point, we just, right, let's take a very comfortable seated position from here. Very good. And then we go down on our back and we try to do shoulder stands too. Okay, so shoulder stands, you go all the way down on the ground, and then what you want to do, you want to lift your legs. You can bend your knees first, and then you can gain some momentum, depending if you need momentum or not, by bending the spine, kind of like this. Look at me. Kind of like bending the spine and doing this. The spine needs to be bended, otherwise you won't roll. It's going to be just a pen. Okay. Or you simply lift up. Very good. You lift up. Try to keep those. Use your hands to push your back up. Yeah. And try to lift your legs a little more vertically, not quite towards the back of the room, but towards me. Very good. This will intensify a little bit the stretch. All right. Excellent. And then come down for a second. All right. And then with the next move that we're going to do the shoulder stands like you just did. But this time you're going to try to flip them over. Look at me for a second. Just look at me for a second. So you're going to do the stand like you just did. So like that. And then you bend your legs and you try to put them all the way back in plow pose.
Okay.
And then you can go back up in shoulder stance. And then slowly, by bending the legs, you can come down like that. So you try to keep your legs very engaged, the feet are pointed, and you try to go all the way on the back. Let's see over here. You can help yourself with your hands. Very nice, very strong, yeah. That's perfect. And now you bend. You don't need to be able to touch. You know, whatever you can do. Very good. Try to keep breathing. Breathe in and breathe out, and slowly you come down from that pose. Very nice. Very nice. So from here, so now we are on our back. You landed in your back. You bend your legs, and then you can follow my words. This is easy. So you bend your legs, keep your knees together, and open up your arm to a T. And then you lift up a little bit your legs from the ground for a spinal twist to the right. You leave your leg falling to the right. It's a relaxing position. Let's keep a couple of breaths here. Let's go back to the center. And let your knees follow to the left. And just keep breathing. And now you go back in the center. You put the sole of the foot down on the ground. And now try to touch the sole of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Roger? Mm-hmm. You touch the sole of your feet, right? Like that. Perfect. If that's too much for you, you can put maybe a couple of blocks on the side of your legs. Alright, so to have a little more of a comfortable position. And we just keep breathing here. And with the help of your hands, if you need, you put your legs back together at the center. Close your legs, and then put your knees, both of them, to your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Very good. And grab, if you can, the outside of your feet for happy baby. You push your legs down to the ground one at a time for a little bit of a hip opener. Let's say some babies are happier than others. And now you go down. You go down. Stay straight as you can. The palms are facing the ceiling. And we'll do some Shavasana. We'll do a couple of minutes of Shavasana. Cork pose. You just close your eyes. Let your practice sink in. Just be restful. Be happy that you get your body moving a little bit. You're more strong than when you started this class. You're more flexible than when you started this class. With every big breath, you bring in some peace. And with every exhale, you let go something that it doesn't serve you. This is just a 30 minutes video, so I'll have to get you out Savasana. Wiggle your toes, your feet. Roll to one of the side of your body, whatever side it is. And get yourself in a fetus position. Push yourself up in a comfortable seated position. Thank you, Roger, for being here again with me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.